Hello, hello everyone. Welcome to the stream. Bit of an earlier stream today. So we have. Well, welcome along, welcome geeky evening to you. Certainly is well into the evening. It is pitch black already. I am still not used to just how quickly it gets dark. Even by late afternoon, just how dark it's getting. And how early you need to turn the lights on, close the curtains. Yeah, it's a lot. But yes, we're here for technically the final round of a series, but not a series I've been partaking in. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, this is RCI's Race Club International. We've raced with them a little bit before, earlier in the year. Oh dear, that's not a good start. Raced with them a bit earlier in the year, a couple of times, I believe. But yeah, community I used to do quite a bit of ACC racing with. Back when I did race that. Here we go. I want to get some practice laps in. But yeah, community I have done racing in the past, not for a little while now though. Yeah, jumping in. I did see this series back when it was starting, and I was like, oh, that'd be a good series to do on Fridays. Unfortunately, I've been busy for most Fridays since this series started. There's only a limited amount of races you can withdraw from, and I'd have to have withdrawn from 4 of the 6 races. But I have been able to sign up sort of mid-season, technically, for this final round. Which I'm looking forward to. We have a 10-minute qualifying session, and then a 80-minute race, or 1 hour and 20 minutes. So it should be a fairly easy one stop. As we're on regular fuel and tire wear, of course we've been getting used to sort of 2 times in a couple of our series more recently, but this is just regular. Not done a lot of practice, only the usual few laps, and it's been so long since I've driven the Hypercars. A little bit I've practiced with them, of course they're on the old tire model from last year. So they're not as sensitive to temperature. So they're not. But feels very low grip, I must say. as the Aston demonstrates. Sure, if you want to go ahead. But yeah, I'm just doing a bit of lift and coast practice. I'm not sure how useful lift and coast is going to be for this race. But yeah, streaming practice, which I don't normally do, but short practice session, only 20 minutes. So I felt like it's going to be better to just get the stream started and head into practice rather than starting it at the end of practice and sort of losing an extra 5 minutes of practice sorting it out. Yeah, I need to relearn braking points. They're not quite what I remember them as. Yeah, the Hypercars certainly feel very different to what all the other classes feel like with the new tire model. Okay, I must admit, the more I'm fuel saving here, the less interested I am in it. Of course, a lot of the people here have already done the full series, the previous 5 rounds, and so will be a lot more accustomed to their cars than I am. You can see the current top time in this practice session is a qualifying run. Not that I expect to really be near the front anyway. Don't know why you're flashing your lights. Maybe I do just need to bring the brake bias backwards a little bit for turn 10. Though that might make it too far rearward for the rest of the track. Yeah, we'll make sure we also get a pit entry practice in. And get ourselves set up for qualifying. See, there's the rears trying to lock into turn 4. If you had the brake bias any further rearward, that would have been a spin. Another couple of laps. Yeah, there's a good 10th that we left on the table there. Just from having that snap with rear locking. That's a corner cut. Find some time through the S's too. So still a few tenths in the lap. But looks like we could be fighting in the front half of the field, which is nice. I ran in a little too quick there. Got on the curb. BMW in front with some very strong blue highlights. I almost thought they were extra LEDs on the car. .5 is our usage. Oh, just locked the rear brakes on entry there. So yeah, good reason for why we shouldn't go backwards on the brakes. Yeah, they're maybe quite far rearward as it is. Let's see. 0.94, that's what we were using. So yeah, that is fine. 3.5% a lap. Let's just do some math. What have we got? 46. Let's say 148 for the race. There will be a pit stop. Slows it down. So we're looking at probably about 44, 45 laps. We'll get 28 laps per stint, so yeah, you can easily go. So that would leave, what, 28, 44 minus 20 would be 16? So we need 56, and for qualifying, we're going to need 21% for 6 flying laps. Qualifying should be getting underway in a moment. Yeah, 17 people saying a lap time in qualifying. What's 20-minute qualifying session? It is. It is a 20-minute qualifying session. Oh yeah, it's a split. I need to double check. It's the split qualifying, isn't it? Ah, yes. So got so many events on, can't remember which one is running which format. Yes, so the first half of qualifying is for GT3 cars, the second half for Hypercars. So for the first half of the session, we just get to watch. So we do. See what happens, and then we get to head out for the second half of qualifying. I never noticed this Mercedes livery having a black number on the bonnet. Which is a bit odd. Yeah, GT3s, of course, on the new tyre model. We'll have to get those tyres up to temperature. They're only going to get 5 laps. So their tyres are only really going to come into play for the final 2 laps, maybe. Let's go on board with the first Porsche on track. And see how the GT3s fare around this Bahrain circuit, braking so much later into T1 than the Hypercars. And again, so much later into turn 4 as well. The ABS really helping. So first sector times coming in, and BMW 36.8. Looking like quickest time, turn 10, much easier in the GT3s, of course. The ABS, so useful. Through turns 10, 11, 9 to 12. Ooh, using all of the track on the exit. Might have been on the wrong side of track limits there. Fastest in the middle sector so far. First lap completed 2-2. Let's see, this Porsche isn't on a great lap. It's this BMW though. Much better lap. 202.7, 1.5 tenths off. Mercedes is a little bit off. Now this Porsche, it's going to be close. I don't think it's going to quite be pole position. No, it is. Good final sector, fastest final sector. 202.4. As we have 9 drivers out running lap times. Yeah, second lap now. I should start to see some better sector times come in. Indeed we are. 36.5. Now the lowest. But currently a Porsche 1-2 after the first runs. .54.5 in the middle sector. That's much quicker. That's where the improvement's really starting to come. We were in the 55s on the first lap. Ooh, that looked like good rotation into the final corner. Maybe a little too much of the wiggle on the exit. Currently not being matched in the middle sector by anyone else. Has been beaten in the first sector. Matched in the middle sector. Benchmark now. 2-minute 1.6 out of turn 13 for the Porsche that was atop the timesheets. BMW there has had a very slow middle sector, 111. Hopefully that was just them slowing down and not having a spin and hurting the tires. Mercedes pops up to second briefly. So which Porsche will be on front? Still this Porsche here, the 911 Porsche. 201.3, 2 laps still for the GT3 drivers. 36.3, couple of tenths up for the second place Porsche. Still needs to find more time though in the middle and final sectors. Final sector especially, remember, we'll be qualifying in just under 3 minutes. I think there might be a bit of a fight for track position. To make sure everyone gets 5 flying laps in. Though everyone might, no one might, some people might not necessarily want 5 flying laps. Middle sector 54.2. Other Porsche is half a tenth down after the first sector this lap. Needs a good final corner. Swings the car in nicely. Looked a little more settled on the exit. So what is the time then? It's up 2-minute 1.1 is the new benchmark. Porsche behind, not going quicker. Half a tenth down in the first sector, 10th down in the middle sector. Can the 911 Porsche pull back 10th and a half in the final sector? Into the final corner now. Oh, seconds slower. BMW behind is within a quarter of a second of the top. So no improvement in the first sector for the Porsche, the 28 currently on provisional pole. .36.1. So finding a bit of pace. Well, we got to say middle sector time here. We will, just before we have to go, 54.3, couple of tenths down. Cheekily sneaking out in front of an Aston there. Now we head out for our own qualifying session. Right in front is on wets, intriguingly. There is a limited set of tyres, 8 tyres for qualifying in the race, so we're 2 sets. And now it's just updated for them to be on mediums. Interesting. Must just be some game desync. Thirteen hypercars out on track here. I don't think weaving is worth it in the hypercars. I think the tire wear you'd put in would sort of negate the advantage. Right, we've given ourselves a bit of a gap. Of course, with the hypercars on the old tyre model, the first lap isn't necessarily thrown to the wayside. It can be a lot stronger than it would be in the other classes. Though, for me, it will be mainly starting to see what the limits are of the car on low fuel. A little deep into turn 4. That's why we left ourselves a bit of a gap, the fry in front running wide. Locking the front left, just running in deep, really compromising exit speed. Just understeering through turn 13. First flying lap then, 149.1. Definitely time in it. Much better braking into turn 1. Braked earlier. And pulled the car up tighter on the apex as well. A little bit rear locking again. Just unsettling the car into turn 4. Very deep into turn 8. That's going to be giving up some time. Better traction on the exit of turn 10. Not using the outside car better through turn 11. By a second up then. Puts us up into P6. Far in front, locking the rear brakes. Very close pack here that we're in now. Again, just running deep into turn 10. Or not turn 10, turn 4, sorry. Not quite getting the change of direction right. Through the S's. Seemed like a better turn 10. A little bit of an improvement that could see us get up to P6. A little bit wide for the apex there, but it's going to be very close. Just pipping P6. By 3 thousandths. That was a cut. We'll get one more lap. So we'll just back it off. We need to find 4 tenths if we'll make up one more. Never mind. We need to find 8 tenths if we'll make up one more position, which we might be able to do. Surprised to see that Toyota down in P9. They looked quicker in practice. Right then, one final flying lap. Bump down to P7. Not the cleanest turn 2, but was better turn 1. Got the apex of turn 4. Find a couple of tents. Getting the apex of turn 8. So half second up. Invalidating the lap when we could have taken P6 back, being half a second up. Oh well. Oh well. Close fight for pole. Just over 2/10 separating the top 3. Very close pack from 8th to 10th. 11th not too far off either. But yeah, we definitely had time in the lap. GT3's got 2-minute dead 0.7. Oh, and then we get pipped for... pipped for P8 at the end. I've got 22. So quite a few people not showing up, which is disappointing. But yeah, we'll be getting into the race in a moment. I'll put on our new set of tires for the start of the race. I don't mind starting here, 9th out of 13th. I mean, yeah, it could have been P6. Maybe not P6. It looks like P6 improved a little bit. P7, right in the middle. Yeah, I'm not too annoyed. We have 4 minutes. 4 minutes to relax. Quite a while. A little too long, if you ask me. But yeah, we'll just wait and relax and wait. But yeah, 13 GT3s. Didn't see how many. 13 Hypercars. 9 GT3s, I think. Yeah, I thought there was going to be a little bit more. So, patiently waiting. Get on the grid in a moment. Set our fuel for the pit stop. And yeah, see if we can survive T1. Of course, quite tight into T1, quite big braking zone. Could go any way. We'll say about tires when we get towards the pit stop. But yeah, inside of T1, don't know if I'm particularly keen on the inside. Yeah, we'll have to see how much what chaos unfolds. Game thinks it's going to be a 43 lap race. I'm thinking it might be 44. We'll have to see what the pace is like. Yeah, it's about 3.5% per lap.
Formation lap has started.
So Valkyrie to our left, Valkyrie in front of us. Here we are, ready for the start.
Green flag, green flag.
Start didn't seem that bad, but the Porsche behind got a good start. Oh, the understeer there. Some car on the left had a slow exit. Oh, it just clipped the car in front. Trying to avoid the chaos that was going on behind me. It's just a little too late. My car darted to the left very late. That Peugeot is very wide. Peugeot was at a big snap. Disappeared into another realm. Fry in front and a little bit deep. Ooh, rear end sliding out there on the brakes. Just try and stop the car from Trying not to run into back of the car in front again. Yeah, not a great opening lap, for sure. Gotta remember, of course, we're on fuel compared to the qualifying fuel. Oh, big snap for the Aston. Aston struggling for traction. Is that Toyota going off? Was indeed. Don't know where they're going. Big lock up on the front right. We'll get away with it on with the older tire model. Wouldn't get away with that on the new one. Definitely being held up at this point. Not necessarily by the Aston, but by the cars in front of the Aston. I think at this point of the race we do try and feel safe. If we're going to be stuck in traffic, might as well gain something from it. All of the cars in front struggling to meet apexes. The Peugeot's now caught up to this battle. Slipstream snake down the start finish straight. Look how much the Peugeot just closes in as we all concertina up. Not a good run for the Aston. He was getting very aggressive on the defence and is getting very aggressive with the Peugeot behind. And now struggling for traction once again, has let the two cars behind him through. That's a cut. Actually get a little warning that time, only 0.25, which seems so generous compared to Silverstone on Wednesday. I'm starting to feel a little bit of a flat spot now. We're not close enough for slipstream, so there's no point in following the train. The Ferrari, pink Ferrari, almost hit the back of the Porsche, going for that dive bomb. They've got the move done. That was a line and a half. Porsche and the Toyota behind have swapped positions. That has led us to just keep a little bit of a gap to them. Yeah, the Porsche at the front of this field is very much holding everyone up. You can tell by the track map just how the top six have spread out. Apex in there for them somewhere. That allows the Ferrari through. Ferrari in front running in quite deep. Ferrari leaving it very late to defend. We'll just squeeze them out on the outside turn 2 since they wanted to squeeze us going into turn 2. Hopefully leave them to fight with the Toyota and Porsche behind. Toyota going for a move down the inside of turn 8 there. Ferrari coming back with the inside of turns 9 and 10. The Peugeot trying to claw position back on the Toyota. Look at the time they've lost already. I feel like I'm struggling with turn 13. Feels like the front left tire just isn't connecting with the road as well as it could be. Porsche in front running a little bit wide on the exit. Side by side behind again. Toyota on the outside. But might work for them like it did for us. Looks like they're still side by side, maybe even 3 wide, looking at the standings in the top left. Ferrari still in front, but we now have a 4-second gap to that battle. Porsche's alright feeling some pressure if it's looking to defend when I'm still this far back. It's practically defending clean air. Toyota finally got past the fry behind, but it's now 6 seconds back. Porsche a little bit wide for the Hypercars, turn 11. I think the Toyota and the Porsche might be starting to fight. Porsche in front, pretty deep into the final corner. But still gets good drive off the corners. That seems to be its strong point at the moment. Which is going to make overtaking it difficult, but now we're into the GT3 traffic. You never know what's going to happen. As we mug the Mercedes through the S's. Locking the rear brakes. Made that close into T4. were braking in the middle of turn 12 there. Yeah, I did cut the corner quite a bit there. Didn't quite see where it was exactly. Yellow flag. Ooh, Aston dead. Just noticed the Toyota and Peugeot have dropped back. Not just in time, but positions. I don't mind staying behind the Porsche as much because I'm just lifting in places and getting energy. But if they want to make it that easy, then fine by me. Alright, let's see if we can break a bit of a gap here. Apex in there somewhere. Yeah, the Porsche behind is getting into a habit of running it in too deep, closing up in the braking zone, but just giving the time up right away on the exit. Yeah, we're definitely opening that gap now. Too much front locking. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to change at least 2 tires at the pit stop. Both left-hand sides. Oh, so some fry spun out the final corner. Gives us a free place. Up to P6 now. Now, curious to see if that fry is going to have pace to come back at us. That's a bad look. Yeah, Fry's definitely putting pressure on the Porsche behind. I've just realised we're not even 30 minutes into the race. Oh, this is feeling like a long one. I mean, we're like just over the halfway mark in our opening stint. I'm going through the front left tire way too quickly. Just checking the track grip there, and as I suspected, it is saturated. Very deep into turn 10. GT3 having a spin here at the final corner. I could have gone for that move, but with how much I've been struggling with turn 10 as of late, I didn't think it was worth it. Just save a bit of fuel. The fry that was there has disappeared. Well, here's all the GT3s again. Still 11 laps to go in this stint. So we'll be pitting at the end of lap 29. Could maybe see 45 laps this race. Race pace at the front of the field is quicker than what I was expecting. I don't know why I lifted there, to be honest. Didn't need to. But then, look, it didn't really cost me any time, did it? You know, that's a good example there of, you know, how you can fuel save and not lose any time. And then, of course, when it comes to your pit stop, it saves you time. We're closing in on the fry in front. Though, unlike the other cars around us, we don't have a virtual energy advantage over them. Now that was green for most of the braking zone, and then at last second decided, oh no, you deserve half a point. Which is a bit rude. I'm not going to say it's not deserved. But it's a bit rude. Porsche behind has dropped back. They're now over 7 seconds. So they've had a slow lap. Yeah, and the Ferrari in front having a bit of a slow lap down in the 50s. It's not like there's any traffic to report of. And the Porsche's dropped back again. Lost a place this time as well. Deep into turn 8. Okay, that's too late on the brakes for lifting. Aston behind is slowly catching us. Yeah, actually, the Ferrari in front has an energy advantage over us. GT3 on their out lap. I feel like our energy usage in terms of the battery has got worse. That's better. Feel safe. Again, game deciding very late on that I needed a track limit warning for that. I mean, I did gain time, so I very much can't complain, can't say it's unfair. Completely fair. Close in a good bit on the front last lap. Fortunately, I don't know the exact time because we both invalidated. A little deep into T1. I think the Aston and the Ferrari in front are saving more than me. GT3 time again. Car's starting to feel a little bit lazy on the right-handers. Leader's already pitting. That's a bit wide on the exit of turn 10 there. Bit early on the brakes, I think, for 11, potentially. I think with the tire wear, there is a consideration to be made for coming in sooner. That was a cut, but game just doesn't care. Yeah, Brian Friend is definitely saving fuel. Saving more than I am. Deep into 10. thing about saving fuel on 1x compared to 2x usage is for how much time you can lose saving fuel and how much work you have to do to save it. The time you make up in the pits is only half as much. Turn, please. We were close enough to make that dive bomb. I just needed to get the braking zone better. That GT3's on cold tires, I think. 30 minutes in the race for me in. So pitting end of this lap. Game thinks it's gonna go 44 laps. The price of playing it safe on 1x is of course half as much as playing it safe on 2x. Don't need that tire anymore. Anyway, that running wide is not ideal. I think the car in front is going to go one more lap. Yeah, ooh, nah, let's just play it safe. You never know. 28-second pit stop. That's not too long. Of course, the Ferrari should theoretically be a little bit quicker since it has one less lap of fuel to put in. But also depends if they change tires or not. or what tires they change. Immediately locking the front left up on pit exit. Yeah, look at that, it's gone to 45 laps now. I'd have to be doing a fair amount of fuel saving if I went that one lap less. Speaking of fuel saving, it looks like someone will have to fuel save the Aston in P3. Yeah, they look a little low. So does the Toyota behind. Car just turns in better. For turn 12 now. Ferrari's out of the pits. They've gone one less lap, so they're banking on this race. Well, they were saving energy. So they're going to continue saving energy throughout this stint, I believe. Or... yeah, I don't think they've changed any tires. Because the gap difference has increased by 5 seconds. Which is how long it takes to change 2 tires, as we did. A little bit of a cut there. Game doesn't mind. Don't think the Aston behind changed tires as well. Gained nearly a second at that, but 7/10. That would leave it close, so it would. Deep into turn 1. But was quick somehow. Too early on the brakes there. Eight tenths gained that lap. Not too far from GT3 traffic again. Car in front invalidated. The slightly deep line into T1 seems to be working. Oh, that was awkward. I was trying to get to the inside of the BMW, but I knew I was too far back on the Porsche. But I couldn't get slowed down in time before hitting the Porsche, unfortunately. Yeah, that's my bad. That definitely cost me crucial time. And so has that. Okay, the current front, the Ferrari, got held up by the GT3 leading GT3. If we don't lose any time passing this GT3, that's quite beneficial. Which we didn't. Right now we need to get back on it. The couple of scruffy laps we had getting past the GT3s really hindered us. .4 seconds there. Little bit of rear locking. Ferrari spun. And that's P5. The best I think we're going to get this race. Shame that they've had that spin. Yeah, that's shaping up to be a close fight. Good fight, could have been. I think we would have caught with a few laps left, maybe like 3 laps left in the race. So it would have been very interesting to have seen how that battle would have played out. Really wish there's a 35 kilowatt motor map. We're catching the Alpine in front, but yeah, 9-second gap, way too big to close down at this stage of the race. Later putting in a fastest lap of the race, just trying to cement that this race will be 45 laps long. Which of course we're not too fussed about anymore. We kind of needed it to be 45 laps to really help with our fight with the Ferrari. But after the Ferrari's mistake, yeah, we don't need it anymore. Tried to give up a little bit of time there, but wasn't enough apparently. Yeah, and looks like the Alpine isn't struggling that much on pace. 5 laps to go. Just waiting for the leader to appear on the relative. Five minutes left in the race. The understeer is starting to come back through turn 13. So just bringing this one home, really. There's the leader now in the relative. 24 seconds back. Yeah, definitely will be a 45th lap. Car's understeering more through the S's. Looks like we're gonna have one last attempt through traffic. Penultimate lap then. Just think if we were still trying to battle that Ferrari, you know, this traffic would be making a key difference, playing a key role in that battle. So then on to the final lap of the race. It was a good race. Schumidt's ending a little bit quietly with the Ferrari having spun a little while ago and bringing sort of this final battle to a premature end. But it was a fun race. We had good battles throughout the race. The start itself wasn't too bad. We kind of got boxed in at T1, but sort of put the car in the right place through turns 2 and 3, made them back up. But then, yeah, had that little bump with the Aston Martin. Unfortunately, at turn 4, just a little too late on the brakes. The Aston finishing with practically no energy left. Like this battle in GT3 for the lead. Will not interfere, will not give the BMW any slipstream. But P5 in the end, yeah, P5 is a good result. Yeah, she invited a couple of bumps, just sort of little misjudging under braking, having not driven the hypercars in quite a while. Braking on them is quite unique with the hybrid system. Yeah, just taking a little bit getting used to again. Let's see, I'll get the name. So, yeah, P5. I'll take that. I mean, if we didn't have the bump at T1, it looks like we could have had P4 there. Yeah, our fastest lap doesn't look the best, but our consistency was hopefully, I assume, made up for it. The strategy call, yeah, I feel like the strategy call was right, taking the two left-hand side tires. Um, yeah, I don't think we were getting that front left tire to the end of the race. Well, maybe just about, but um, yeah, it would not have been in any good condition as just wasting too much of it through turn 13 or turn 12, sorry, the long right hander. As just using a lot of it there and in the braking zone for through turn 9 into 10. You know, how often was I just locking it? Um, yeah, definitely sort of saved by the forgiving tire model on the hypercars in that sense. Um, you know, in the LMP2s, the LMP3s, you know, you'd have quite a bad flat spot from that. So you would. Um, yeah, fun to get in the hypercars again. I must admit, I've got used to the new tire model. With the LMP3s, the LMP2s having it now, and the GT3s, I've got used to that new tire model. And going back to the hypercar one, I don't enjoy it as much as I used to. I don't. Um, it's it doesn't. I don't feel like it has as much feeling in it as the newer ones, and that's probably because of the slip angle you can it has. Um, just doesn't give as much of a feeling. The tire feels sort of softer, not as rigid. Um, but yeah, how the tire sword was just scraping across the, oh, it felt like scraping across the ground at T12 long right hander wasn't great. Um, yeah, I not to. I certainly won't be rushing back into the hypercar class in the future. I think when it comes to sort of future one-off races, if it's between hypercar and GT3, I think I'll be going GT3. Um, it is a little while now since driven them. So yeah, we'd be nice to get back into them and do some races. Maybe over December, we'll see. Um, yeah, we'll see what happens in that regard. But yeah, fun race, good battles, right? Yeah, shame by the instant start. Though I suppose that give us a fun race. That give us a fun race, fighting back, having to make moves. Um, yeah, which I enjoyed. You know, P5. Yeah, I'll certainly take that. It wasn't looking too good when we were outside the top 10 on lap one, but yeah, we just fought our way through that battle. Um, and yeah, we had a good time. If you've seen on the channel before I went live, yes, we're doing another race over the weekend. We're back on Sunday, where we're going to be doing 100 minutes of Interlagos. Um, I'm looking forward to it. Um, we're in the hypercars. We're in the hypercars and the Porsche specifically once again. Um, GT3s once again should be a full grid. Hopefully everyone turns up. Um, yeah, looking forward to that one. 100 minutes should be interesting on the strategy. Might need a bit of fuel save, but yeah, it's going to be two full stints. Um, yeah, opportunity to go different ways on the tires too. I don't think they're limited in in that race, but yeah, you know, I think you'll get some people change 2, some people change 4. We'll see what we do in the race. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to that one. That'll be starting same time as this stream started, 7 o'clock UK time, GMT, of course. now that daylight savings for winter has begun. Um, so yeah, back then, of course, on Monday again, we'll be back in the ELMS LMP2 cars, where we'll be at Le Mans, tackling the circuit. I was about to say circuit. I've switched over the scene. Yeah, tackling the Circuit du Sarthe, Le Mans in the unrestricted LMP2s should be good fun with all the downforce they have. They're not quite as fast. They don't have the top speed of the hypercars, but um, yeah, they should still be great. Looking forward to attacking the Porsche cars in them. That should be a lot of fun. And yeah, hopefully traffic isn't a menace for both Interlagos and Le Mans. Interlagos, just that middle sector, so technical, so difficult to get moves done. And yeah, Le Mans, I'm a little bit worried with some of the GT3 drivers. In all honesty, yeah, they could be. Yeah, hopefully they're nice and predictable then. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, that's good for today's stream. Thank you, Geeky, for chatting a bit. Hope you enjoyed the race. Thank you to those that lurked throughout the stream and are watching VOD back. Hope you enjoyed. Hopefully, I'll see you again on Sunday. If not, hopefully on Monday. Yeah, I've got some great racing hopefully coming up at Interlagos and Le Mans. But yeah, until then, enjoy the rest of your Friday. Hope you've had a good Halloween if you're celebrating. And yeah, hopefully, have a good Saturday, have a good Sunday, and yeah, have a good weekend. And yeah, I will hopefully see you next time. Till then, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.